And we turn our attention back to the report by the NSIB on the July 13 incident in Port Harcourt involving an Airpeace Boeing 737 aircraft. Well, joining me to discuss this is the DG NSIB Captain Alex Badi Jr. It's good to have you join us at this time. Let's start with clarifying that report, perhaps for better understanding. Does this suggest that 100 passengers were on board an aircraft operated by pilots under the influence, with crew members also testing positive for cannabis?
Thank you for having me here. And let's just clarify this again. This is a preliminary report. It's not a final report. We're supposed to publish this within 30 days. We went a bit over the 30 days. Now, protocol right after an accidental incident like this, the first thing that's done is the crew members are taken for a drug and alcohol test. And if you go by the Nigerian Civil Aviation regulations, NCARs, in Part 8, it says no crew member, pilots, co-pilots, or cabin crew may consume alcohol or drugs within 8 hours prior to duty, which is a bottle to throttle rule while on duty. Now, when they took them, which incidentally Airpeace took the crew members to the hospital for these tests, and these substances they tested positive for. It's not to say some people, again, alcohol stays one way in your body, but as far as we're concerned, they blew over the limits at that time, i.e. the captain, first officer, and then THC being consumed, being found in one of the flight attendants' bloodstream. You know, it's not for us at the NSIB to pass judgment. This is not a judgment. We just said what we found. It's up to the NCA and the airline, you know, to take this up. I don't think this is it shouldn't be something that people lose their jobs for, because the airlines are not responsible for what the pilots and the crew decide to do with their licenses. The airline can only do so much. It's impractical to test everybody every moment or every day before they fly. That's just impractical. That's just not going to work. This is the responsibility of the aircrew. Any aircrew, I being aircrew as well, it's my responsibility to protect my license and my livelihood. It's stated in the NCARs. So I'm not going to put this on the airline per se, but on the crew. It might be a lapse in judgment. I'm not sure. But as we say, we just stated what we found in the course of the investigation. We're not passing judgment. We're not saying anything. We're just putting the facts out there as they are.
I mean, checking the aircrew should be part of the process, some would argue. Talking about the airline taking responsibility, the airline is appearing to refute this report by the NSIB, although you've mentioned that this is not the final report. It says it has not received any official communication. At what point is the NSIB going to communicate with the airline now?
Well, I'm unaware of any rule that says the NSIB should communicate with the airline before releasing the preliminary reports. ICAO Annex 13 says we will send the final report to stakeholders for their comments before publishing. But there's nothing that states the NSIB or any accident investigating body is obliged to send an airline or any other agency that we're investigating a preliminary report before publishing. So I can understand, the apprehension, but again, there is nowhere that's stated that we need to do that, and we're not in the habit of doing that. We've released multiple preliminary reports here in the past 18 months, and we have not once sent a preliminary report to the airline before releasing. So I'm not sure where that is coming from. You must remember that this is all for public safety. This is in the interest of safety. It's nothing personal, and it's not trying to put anybody in a bad light.
Well, of course, this report is in the interest of public safety. We hope that stakeholders act on this when the final report comes out. Well, thank you for talking to us at this time to clarify the current situation. DG NSIB Captain Alex Badi Jr., thank you for joining us on the news this hour.
Thank you.
You're still watching TVC News at 1. We'll be back with more stories after.